the city of darkness, a town not on any map, where no human survives till morning. I had never heard of the city until the night I entered it. No road signs pointed to it, no maps showed its streets, no one in the neighboring towns spoke its name. It was not hidden by distance, it was hidden by silence. And yet, somehow, I found myself walking its streets when the sun dipped below the hills, and the last color drained from the sky. I do not know what path carried me there. I only know that once I saw it, I could not unsee it. And once I crossed its boundary, I could not turn back. The first thing I noticed was the absence of light. Cities, even dead ones, glow faintly, the echo of electricity still humming in the wires. But this place rejected light. The lamps along the street stood like blind men with their sockets empty. The windows of the houses were black squares, not curtains drawn, but voids carved into the walls. The air itself seemed darker, a thickness that wrapped around me, muffling every sound except the faint rhythm of my own breath. I stepped carefully, though every stone on the road felt like it had been placed there for my misstep. I thought at first the city was abandoned, but abandonment does not breathe. As I passed each doorway, I felt the weight of eyes, not opening, not blinking, just fixed, watching. Shadows stirred where no bodies stood. I told myself I imagined it, but the sound of footsteps behind me answered. They kept perfect pace, halting when I halted, resuming when I moved. I did not turn to see. Instinct told me the darkness survives by being unacknowledged. Still, the hair on my neck rose each time the echo pressed too close. The streets twisted into patterns that did not follow human design. Corners folded back onto themselves. Alleys ended in walls that pulsed faintly like the veins of a body. The buildings leaned closer the deeper I went, as if the city were bending down to listen. I saw no signs, no markers, only cracks in the stone that resembled letters from an alphabet older than memory. Each step I took made them glow faintly red, as though I had awakened something asleep beneath the pavement. I whispered aloud to calm myself, and the city whispered back in words I could not recognize. I tried to leave. I chose the broadest street, certain it would lead to the road out, but with each block, the houses grew taller, narrower, until they joined above me, sealing off the sky. I could no longer tell where I was. I could no longer tell if I had moved at all. My watch had stopped, the hands frozen. At midnight, I touched the glass, and it was cold, wet with condensation, as if submerged. The silence of the place deepened, heavier, until even my breathing seemed intrusive. And then I heard them, the voices. They did not come from one place. They rose from the walls, from the stones, from the cracks beneath my feet. A chorus of whispers, thousands of them, too many to separate. They said no words I knew, but the meaning was clear. They were counting me, counting my breaths, counting down. I clapped my hands to my ears, but the sound was inside my skull, vibrating against the bone. The voices did not want me to leave. They wanted me to stay until the counting was done. I stumbled into what must once have been a square. A fountain stood in the center, dry, its basin cracked, but water still dripped somewhere below, echoing up like a heartbeat. Around the fountain lay statues, human figures frozen in positions of terror, their mouths gaped, their eyes wide, hands clawing at the air. I leaned closer and realized they were not carved. They were real. People turned to stone by whatever rules governed this city. The detail was too sharp, the curve of veins on the wrist, the strand of hair trapped against a cheek. I recognized the fear in their faces. It mirrored my own. I wanted to run, but every path from the square led deeper into the maze. I chose one at random, praying it would lead me back to open ground. The street narrowed until my shoulders brushed the walls. They were damp, pulsing faintly with warmth, as if I walked not through stone but through the throat of something alive. My breath echoed too loud, and the whispers grew stronger, now shaping words. They said my name. They spoke it slowly, stretching the syllables until they cracked. I pressed forward, but each step sank slightly, as though the street itself was swallowing me. My legs grew heavy. My skin prickled. I felt myself being counted, measured, claimed. I do not know how long I walked. Time does not flow in the city of darkness. Hours or minutes, it does not matter. At last, I reached another open space. This one was a theater, its facade crumbling, its doors wide. I should have turned away, but the darkness behind me pressed me forward, forcing me inside. The seats were filled not with people, but with shadows shaped like people. Outlines of bodies sitting perfectly still, heads all turned toward the stage. On the stage stood a mirror, cracked but tall, and in it I saw myself, not as I was, but as I would be. Pale, empty-eyed, mouth stretched wide in a scream without sound. My reflection raised its hand. Before I did, it beckoned me forward, and the shadows clapped, soundless but suffocating. I fled. I no longer cared where I went. Streets bent, collapsed, folded back. Doors opened into other doors. Stairs led downward, then upward into the same square. Each route ended in the city's center, where the fountain pulsed and the statues of the damned looked on. The counting voices grew frantic, louder, faster, their rhythm beating against my heart until I thought it would tear. And then, as the last whisper struck like a hammer, silence fell. Complete, absolute. I looked down at the note clutched in my hand, though I did not remember holding one. On it was written a single line, "No human survives till morning." I looked up. The statues were gone. The shadows had left their seats. The windows of the houses glowed faint red. The city was awake, fully awake, and I was its only living breath. The silence deepened again, thick with expectation. I ran. Every road curved, every path folded, but still I ran. My lungs burned, my chest split, but the city followed, its whispers behind, beside, inside. I saw the edge once, a gate leading out, but when I reached for it, the gate bent back into more streets, and the city laughed. A sound without joy. I knew then what the note had promised. No one leaves. No one survives. The city is not a place. It is a sentence, and I had been written inside it. I tell this now because the city allows it. Perhaps it wants a witness, someone to carry its name into the ears of the curious. Perhaps it knows that by speaking it, I plant its seed in you. Tonight, When you look at a map, you may see a town you do not remember, a town no one else recalls. The next time you drive at night, a road may bend where it never bent before, and lights may flicker where no houses stand. And when you find yourself there, standing in streets that are too dark to belong to any living place, you will remember my words too late. The city will already have you. It will whisper your name. It will count your breaths. And before the sun rises, it will add your silence to its own. No human survives till morning, and no one ever leaves the city of darkness.